Well, because since I am talking, I can already hear myself, like, in my head, you know? So I don't know if I am talking on the headphones or not, you know? I can't really hear myself in the headphones because I'm talking, so I can already hear myself in my head and in my ears. Because that is how these things work. Anyways, the song that you just heard was Moonshine Sally by Mud, by the band Mud. Yes, is that a good band name? I think that's a decent band name. Yeah, I found the band Mud because me and my friend were working on our Spanish homework in high school. We were working on our homework together, and we were saying, like, something, say mudaban, something. And since we were in Google Docs, and since Google Docs thought that we were writing in English, even though we were not writing in English, it gave us the little highlight thingy, the little red line. It's like, no, you're spelling this wrong, even though we were spelling it correctly in Spanish. It was like, no, you're not spelling this correctly. And so we were like, I wonder what it thinks mudaban is supposed to be. And Google Docs thought that mudaban was supposed to be mud band. And we were like, is that even like a phrase? Is mud band a thing? And we Googled it, and it's not like a thing that people say. Like, people aren't like, oh, look at that mud band. But we did find a band called Mud. And that is the band that played the song that you just heard, which was Moonshine Sally was the name of the song. And now you know the name of the song, and you know the name of the band. And now that you have background information on how I found this band, we are now going to talk about analyzing the song. So, there is a lot of juxtaposition in this song. You know, we've got the fire waterfall, you know, Moonshine Sally, where does she live? She lives by the fire waterfall or the magic waterfall. It's called both in these. So it's both a fire waterfall and a magic waterfall. Now, the fire waterfall, that is certainly a juxtaposition because fire and water, believe it or not, are opposite things. Yes. Also, by the way, every song that you've ever heard is instantly improved when it has the word magic in it. Like, it can be kind of a mediocre song, and then it has the word magic in the song, and instantly the song is improved by tenfold, at least tenfold, probably more than tenfold. Is this a fact, or is this just a personal opinion? That is for you to decide. However, I think that I am correct, and therefore I am correct. Yes. Now, the next lyric that we're going to look at, we have, I want to take you, don't want to make you, live with me in Takalo Valley. Now, I Googled this because I was curious, and Takalo Valley is not a real place as far as I can tell. I got some like LinkedIn things about Takalo Valley. That was the best that I got. However, it is not a real place as far as I can tell. It is made up, much like the fire waterfall. Fire waterfall, you can't have fire in a waterfall, so that's also made up. So we have two made up things in this song already, which personally I am shocked by, needless to say. Yes, but again, we have this theme of juxtaposition and of contradiction. We are contradicting ourselves because he says, I don't want to take you. Okay, great. But then he says, don't want to make you live with me in Takalo Valley. Well, do you want to not take her? Or do you want to take, hang on. You want to take her. That is what you do want to do. I'm not accusing you, the listener, of course, of this. I'm talking you as in the song. So, I want to take you. That's the first statement we've got. But don't want to make you live with me in Takalo Valley. Well, which one is it? Do you want to take her, or do you not want to make her? Because these two things cannot exist in harmony. They are immediately juxtaposed. What a great word that is. And then, furthermore, continuing on, you know, hang on. I promise I have notes. It's just very early in the morning. It is 8:08 in the morning. Did you know that it's 8:08 in the morning? I am not usually awake at 8:08 in the morning. I was awake yesterday at 8:08 in the morning. Barely. And today I'm awake at 8:08 in the morning. But this is not a usual occurrence for me. Yes. So also, with the Don't Want to Make You Live With Me in Takalo Valley, she already lives there. It says throughout the song, she lives near the waterfall, the magic waterfall, and the fire waterfall in Takalo Valley. The waterfall is located in Takalo Valley. She is already there. So, the narrator of this song, presumably also, well, actually, I think presumably not in Takalo Valley. So, the narrator would have to go to Takalo Valley, where Sally already is, and then would be not forcing her to live with the narrator in Takalo Valley. Again, as I have been saying throughout this analysis, it's juxtaposition and contradiction throughout this. Now, let's get into some of the magic of this, because, as I said, they use the word magic in the song, and every song is instantly improved by having the word magic in it. So, we have another lyric. They'll hear no more of Sally when the waterfall runs dry. So clearly, Sally is some kind of magical being, and the waterfall is her life source. I mean, there is no other possible thing that it could be. So the water is her life source. However, again, we have the contradictions in the song, because at one point in the song, they say she lives underneath the waterfall. I hear you call from beneath the waterfall. She lives underneath the waterfall. But then, they also say that she just lives near the waterfall. So, I would really like if this narrator were to make up their mind as to what is happening. You know, is it a fire waterfall? Is it a magic waterfall? Does Sally live near the waterfall, or does she live underneath the waterfall? Although I guess you could argue that underneath the waterfall is as near to the waterfall as you can possibly get when it comes to locations that you are living around a waterfall. You know, but still, does the narrator want to take you, or want to not make you live with me in Takalo Valley? It is a song of juxtapositions. Yes, and it is by a glam rock band from a British glam rock band from the 1970s. Were there American glam rock bands? I don't know this, because I feel like all of the glam rock bands that I've heard of are only British. I've never heard of an American glam rock band, but perhaps they are out there, and I just don't know them. And now, we are going to listen to another song. Isn't that exciting? Get ready, and here we go. In a second. Okay, and here we go. This is WOBC FM 91.5, Oberlin College and Community Radio. My name is Ellen Efstathiou, and this is Analyze. Yay! And that song that you just heard was Airplanes by Adron. Okay, let's judge their band name. Adron, I don't know what Adron means, but it sounds kind of cool, and I like that the song and the name of the band both start with the letter A. This is going to be the running theme for today. The running theme is going to be me judging the band names, because there is a good one coming up. Yes, so, Airplanes. Now, by the way, for a few of these songs, I was not able to find lyrics on Google. When I Googled the lyrics It didn't know the song. So we are going based off of what my ears heard, which is perhaps not the most reliable method of knowing what the words are. Because for some reason, whenever I hear music, all my ability to comprehend the words that are being sung just goes out the window. It flies away in an airplane. And I just cannot understand what is happening. So we have to deal with that. Anyways, in this song, let us analyze this song. In this song, we have lyrics such as, I see an airplane, it don't see me. Now, is this just because the airplane is really high up? Yes. Yes, it is. However, the more important thing is that we are in a world where airplanes are sentient. Now, I did watch a TV show that had sentient airplanes in it when I was little. It was on PBS Kids. I don't remember the name of the TV show, but it existed, and there were sentient planes. So I'm guessing that is what inspired this song. That, this TV show, this kids' TV show about sentient planes is what inspired the song Airplanes by the band Adron. Perhaps. Who knows? I don't know. For further proof that this is about sentient airplanes, we have the lyric, they look kind of like animals, but the kind you can't handle. Animals. Do airplanes look kind of like animals? From a distance, yes. From up close, also yes. Because we've got the wings. They do look like a bird because they have wings and a beak. The front of a plane is kind of pointy. It does kind of look like a beak. And then we've got the wings. Those are certainly beak-like. Or the wings are not beak-like. The wings are bird-like, and the beak is bird-like. But the wings are not beak-like, and the beaks are not wing-like. Because those are different words. Yes. What else? Oh, yeah. They're kind of invincible, but not really, because they explode all the time. And now, by the way, this is all very calming music, right? I mean, you just heard the song. It's, very nice. We've got the guitar. It's going like do-do-do-do, or however guitars go. I have tried to play the guitar a couple times, not like seriously play the guitar, but like there was a guitar around and I was like, I'm going to try and play this guitar because people who play guitars seem cool. And so I Googled guitar chords and I tried to play some chords on the guitar, and I don't think my hands were big enough to play the guitar. Or, well, yeah, which... I mean, I feel like I have fairly average-sized hands, so I'm not really sure what was going on with the guitar with me. Well, I know what was going on with me. What was going on with me was that I do not know how to play the guitar. That is what was going on with me. Also, by the way, the computer in the station has a really cool design on it right now. It's like feathers. It's like feathers, and we were just talking about birds. I think the computer has heard me, and that the robot uprising is going to begin soon. Speaking of conspiracy theories, another lyric that is in this song is, you might notice the contrails, but not what they're made of. Now, what could the contrails from the airplane be made of? Could it be smoke? Maybe. Could it be clouds? Maybe. Or could it be, because these are sentient airplanes, could it be that the contrails are the remains of their food? Perhaps, because after all, we are talking about sentient airplanes here. And, by the way, I do wonder if this song is what inspired Nope. The movie Nope. It came out, I was about to say earlier this year, but technically it was last year. It was earlier this school year is when it came out. However, it was technically last calendar year. Yes, that is what I think, because that does not have a sentient airplane in it, but it's very close. I'm trying not to spoil this for people that have not seen the movie. If you have not, I don't know if you've seen the movie. And that is the thing about the radio, is that I do not know who is listening to this. Yes. So, what have we learned from this song? We've learned that there are sentient airplanes, that there is a world where there are sentient airplanes, and there are all these things. There's so many things about sentient airplanes. And now, we are going to listen to another song. Are you excited? I hope that you are, because here we go. It's I Rob by Will Pafrang and the Good Land Gang. And that is why I have been judging everybody's band names for this thingamajig. What is this called? Oh yes, for this show, for this hour. That is why I have been judging all of the band names, because Will Pafrang and the Good Land Gang is a fantastic band name, and I think that we should all aspire to have band names that are more like Will Pafrang and the Good Land Gang's, band name. I'm just forgetting words all over the place today. I don't know what's going on with that. Well, probably what's going on with that is that it's 8:28 in the morning, and I'm not usually awake at 8:28 in the morning. We're getting close to when I wake up on Tuesdays and Thursdays. 2 more minutes, and we will be there, and I will no longer have the excuse that I am up earlier than I usually am. Because twice a week doesn't feel that often, but also it does feel that often. When you're not usually waking up at 8:30 in the morning, when the other, 5 days of the week you're not waking up at 8:30 in the morning. 8:30 in the morning feels very early, or feels very frequent when it's twice a week. When the rest of the days of the week you are not getting up that early. So yes, Will Pafrang and the Good Land Gang. Me and my friend came up with a really good band name one time, and the band name is Electric Crumpets. Please don't steal that. Electric Crumpets. And we came up with it because I was explaining to him the plot of the movie King Ralph. That is how we came up with the band name Electric Crumpets. So, yes. By the way, this is WOBC FM 91.5, Oberlin College and Community Radio. My name is Ellen F. Stotheu, and this is Analyze. And I'm analyzing songs. That's why it's called Analyze. And also, guess what? It's time for a PSA. And I have a PSA pulled up right on my computer. And now you're going to listen to me read it. Recycle. Recycle 1, in fact. Under the new recycling system, you can recycle plastics with numbers 1 through 7 marked underneath the item in a recycle triangle. Remember that there are real people who handle our recyclable waste, so please clean all recyclables before disposing of them and removing caps from bottles, as they can become a hazard for workers in the sorting process. Finally, corrugated cardboard must be broken down and taken to big brown dumpsters located throughout campus labeled corrugated cardboard only. So, there's some information about recycling. Also, give me a second while I learn how to spell recyclable, because in 5th grade, in 4th grade, I was in a spelling bee at school, and I got out on the word recyclable because I didn't know how to spell recyclable. But apparently, so if you're in a spelling bee, listen up. Recyclable is spelled RECYCLABLE. So it is not recycle and then able, it's recyclable. Alright, we are learning things today. Isn't that great? Alright, so the song that you just heard was I Rob by Will Pafrang and the Good Land Gang. It always makes me think of the TV show Casa de Papel, because they rob in it. Yes. In the show and in the song that you just heard, they rob in both of those. Casa de Papel, it would make sense if you didn't know that, if you haven't seen the show. But I rob, they say I rob pretty frequently in the song. So, yeah, they do say I rob, and so we can assume that they are in fact robbing. Again, I got halfway through the show this week without having to clear my throat. That is an improvement. I've been drinking so much water. Alright, so, a lyric that you heard very frequently in this song is, I rob 'cause that's where the money is. But it never really this song, it never really specifies where the money is. Where are you robbing from? I do not know. Could it be a bank? Sure. Could it be from a person? Maybe. Are you robbing a house? I don't know. It never explains where they are robbing from. I mean, I was picturing a bank because, and again, this is one of the songs that does not have lyrics on the internet. So we're going based on my ears. And again, that is not a reliable method of figuring out the lyrics. There are so many songs that for years I thought I knew what they were saying, and then I learned that in fact I do not know the lyrics to the songs. Because I didn't look up the lyrics, I was just listening to them. Because I was like, I can just listen to the song and I will know the lyrics. But actually, I will not know the lyrics from just listening to the song, which is sad. But anyways, so when I listen to this song, I picture them robbing a bank. Maybe they do say bank in the song, now that I'm thinking about it more. I'm not really sure. Anyways, yes. So, now, another lyric that I want to look at is, go straight for the heart of the lion kid. Now, I understand that in songs, sometimes you have to put the emphasis in different places than you're expecting to put the emphasis in order to make it fit with the rhyme scheme or the other musical terms that have to do with lyrics. I'm not really sure about those things. So, go straight for the heart of the lion kid. Now, there are two options for what this could mean. The first option is that you are talking to a kid and you're telling this kid, go straight for the heart of the lion, comma of direct address, kid. That is a possibility. Again, the lyrics are not to be found on the internet. So, I don't know if there's a comma of direct address in there or not. Who knows? The other option is there is no comma of direct address between lion and kid, and that the narrator of this song is in fact talking to a lion kid, a cub, if you will. So, it could be, go straight for the heart of the lion kid, or no, you're not talking to the cub, you're talking about a cub. Go straight for the heart of the lion kid. Again, I think this is rhyme scheme things, because go straight for the heart of the lion, or no, go straight for the heart of the cub, or go straight for the heart of the lion cub, does not work in the song as well as go straight for the heart of the lion kid. However, if it is this second option, if it is go straight for the heart of the lion kid, meaning cub, then they are talking about killing a lion cub, and that is so sad. Or maybe they're talking about falling in love with a lion cub. Maybe they're talking to other lions and they're saying, go straight for the heart of the lion kid. Like, you know, have a good relationship with this lion kid. Maybe that is what they are talking about. Maybe they just want to see the lions flourishing and having good social relationships. Which, I mean, I think lions already have that, more or less, because they have prides, right? A pride of lions. Yes, that is the name for a group of lions. I know that because The Lion King was my favorite movie when I was little. I'm referencing so many movies. So there is so much pop culture, movies of pop culture happening in this show. That was not intentional. I don't know why this is happening, but it is happening, and we're going to deal with it. Yes. So, we've got go straight for the heart of the lion kid. You know, is it a kid? Is it a lion? Is it a lion kid? Well, we've spent a lot of time analyzing if it's a cub or not. let us talk about if we're talking to a kid. So, if we are not talking to fellow lions, and we are in fact talking to humans about lions, then go straight for the heart of the lion kid is probably bad advice. Maybe. Because we should not be encouraging children to go up to lions and go for their hearts. That is not a good thing for lions, or not for lion. Well, it certainly isn't a good thing for lions. We learned that, I'm going to make another pop culture reference. Here we go. We learned that in Madagascar, that humans should not get close to lions. In the second Madagascar, probably the first one a little bit too, but certainly the second one, which is my favorite Madagascar movie, is the second one. I don't know why I'm telling you this information, but now you know it, and you can do with this information what you want to do with this information. You could tell other people that you heard someone on the radio who said that their favorite Madagascar movie is the second one, or you could not do that. But regardless, if you're talking to a kid, a kid we'll go with under 13, right? We'll go with kids, then teenagers, because tweens is such an odd age. I was talking about this with people the other day, about how middle schoolers, which is when you are a tween, middle school is a weird time, and it's weird to see middle schoolers just out and about, because you never know how old they are. You never know if they're middle schoolers, or if they're just tall elementary school kids, or if they're just short high schoolers. Who knows? I don't know. Maybe you don't know. Maybe you do know, I don't know. Who knows when you're talking about middle schoolers, and yes. But we should not be encouraging kids to walk up to lions and go for their hearts. That's not a good thing to do, in my opinion. And now, we are going to listen to another song. Are you excited to listen to another song? I hope so, because it is going to happen whether you want it to or not. And here we go. Okay, that was Roger Did the Smart Thing by Jeff Bradford. I know that we've been judging band names or musician names. Well, I think all of the songs up until now have been by bands and not by individual musicians. So I guess we cannot judge this name because that's just literally his name. And that would be rude to judge literally his name. So yeah. Roger Did the Smart Thing by Jeff Bradford. And that is Jeff with a G. That is not Jeff with a J. That is Geoff Jeff. Geoff. Another word to use in your spelling bee escapades. Jeff. Spelled the G way. Yes, so, yet another song that we have to use my ears in order to figure out what is happening. My ears. Anyways, oh yes, also, by the way, this is WOBC FM 91.5, Oberlin College and Community Radio. My name is Ellen Efstathiou, and this is Analyze, and I am analyzing songs. And the song that we are analyzing currently is Roger Did the Smart Thing by Jeff Bradford. I wonder, are there any other songs that have Roger in them? Because, some names, like Caroline shows up in a lot of songs. We've got, Sweet Caroline, we've got some song by some guy that I don't remember the name of the song, or the guy that also has the name Caroline in the song. There's a lot of Carolines in music. Yes. Not a lot of Rogers, though, I don't think. I can't think of any other Rogers that are in the song, that the name is in the song. Obviously, well, is it obvious? Are there famous musicians named Roger? I think so, perhaps. We'll say that there are famous musicians named Roger. Do I know the rest of their names? I don't know. Do you know? I don't know. Anyways, so Roger did the smart thing. Let us begin the analysis of this song. So, a lyric that we are going to look at is, he's getting off at Broadway in 49th. So, this gives us a location. We are in New York. Roger is in New York because that is where Broadway is. And 49th is probably also in New York. I have only been to New York City, well, that I remember, once. I think I went when I was like really little, but I was like toddler age, and I do not remember that. But I did go when I was teenager aged, and it was really hot because it was summer, and it was too hot in New York. Anyways, so Roger, however, is not too hot. But he is in New York, and he's getting off at Broadway in 49th, and he's got a bag of dance clothes on his back. Perhaps he works at Broadway. Dancing is a thing that people do on Broadway. They also sing. Sorry for clearing my throat. But on Broadway, people also sing. They probably even sing without clearing their throats because they're just already like warmed up and can sing well and know how to use their voices well. Yes, and they also act on Broadway. These are all things that occur on Broadway. Now, the main thing that we are learning about Roger, he's never one to give in to temptation when it's just easier to look away. So, this is telling us, and other lyrics too, such as, Roger did the smart thing, it's all that he could do, etc., etc. He pretended that he never knew. There's all these things. So, that tell us that Roger is a very passive character. He's just kind of letting things happen. He's not taking an active role. He is like Romeo and Juliet. He's letting the stars do their thing, and he's just kind of along for the ride. Yes. Again, apologies for the throat clearing, but I think it is just destined to happen at this. Perhaps if I stopped talking about it so much, it would stop happening. Maybe it's a self-fulfilling prophecy, what I'm doing here. I am self-fulfilling the prophecy of me having to clear my throat. Perhaps this is what we can learn. Anyways, so Roger is just letting things happen. He's not saying anything. He's just looking away. He pretended that he never knew. So, here is the thing. When I was in elementary school, they gave us presentations to be anti-bullying because bullying is bad. And one of the things that we learned in this thingamajig, in these presentations, is that being a bystander is also bad. If you are a bystander, stop being a bystander and do something about it. However, Roger clearly did not have these presentations because he's just being a bystander. He's looking away and he's pretending that he never knew. So, once again, apologies for the throat clearing. He is pretending that he never knew, so he is just being a bystander in his own life, and maybe in other people's lives too. No one else in this song is mentioned. We can presume that there are other people because he gets on the subway. I think it's a subway and not a bus. Again, we are going off of my ears because there were no lyrics on the internet, and I believe my ears heard more references to a subway than to a bus. Maybe a taxi. Perhaps he's taking a taxi. That is another option of transportation. Yes. But we never hear about anyone else in this song. There are no other characters in this song. It is only Roger. Roger is the only one in this song. Even though it's New York, it is New York City, and Roger is the only person in New York City. Perhaps, maybe, the thing that we are failing to realize is that this song takes place in like a post-apocalyptic New York where Roger is the only person, and that's why Roger is the only person, actually. It's not that, you know, he's just the main character of the song and he is letting things pass him by. It's actually that he's in a post-apocalyptic... That is such a difficult word to say. A post-apocalyptic world. A post-apocalyptic New York City. And that is why there is no one else around to talk to him, for him to notice, for him to pretend that he never knew. Maybe he's pretending that he never knew that New York City is now post-apocalyptic. Maybe he's pretending that the apocalypse did not happen. Maybe that is actually what is happening here. And it's not that, I don't know, other things. What are other things? It's not that he is willfully ignoring the world. It is that he is willfully ignoring the fact that the apocalypse happened, and he's just pretending that everything's okay, and he's going to work, and he's dancing. Again, and actually, there is a lyric that supports this. So we have the lyric, but when he dances, it's like gravity releases him. He's taken back to an earlier time, a more primitive way. You know what would be an earlier time in a more primitive way? The time before the apocalypse. That is something that would certainly happen. So, because before, I thought that maybe that was about being a kid, and that was why he was just looking away. It was easier to look away, and he was pretending that he never knew. But actually, this has to do with the apocalypse. So that's good to know. I would also like to shout out the saxophone in this song. I played the saxophone in middle and high school, and it is a great instrument, and, great instrument, and there's a lot of saxophone in this song, and so, shout out to the saxophone. And now, what are we going to do? Oh, we are going to listen to another PSA. We're going to listen to me read another PSA. Isn't that exciting? So we have the PSA, ensure the environment. That's ensure with an I, not an E. It's ensure the environment. We ensure our health, our homes, and our cars. So why not our environment? 14 of the 15 warmest years in recorded history have occurred since the year 2000. Carbon emissions are the problem. Our national safety, economic well-being, food security, and the very survival of future generations are at stake. The good news is that it is solvable. Find out how at citizensclimatelobby.org. Let's make the environment part of the debate. All right, now you've got some information about the environment. You have something that you can do. And now we are going to listen to another song. So prepare yourself for that. I was told it is a river of consciousness that I have, not just a stream of consciousness. Okay, whoop, that was a lot louder than I thought I was going to be. That was Snake in the Grass by 78 RPMs. Rotations per minute. Okay, let's see. Let us think about the name of the band. 78 RPMs. It is certainly not the best band name that we've had today. Obviously, nothing can beat Will Pafrang and the Goodland Gang. But still, a decent band name. 78 RPMs. Rotations per minute, I believe, is what RPM stands for. I have not thought about rotations per minute in a while because I just haven't. Last time I thought about it was probably when I was taking my driver's ed test. And then after that, maybe just to go, that's the thing I had to know for the driver's ed test, is the RPMs, is where the little dial thingy for the RPMs is. And that is the only thing that I know about the RPMs. This is going to be a very brief analysis because it is almost the end of the hour. It is 8:58. We have 2 minutes to analyze things. And me talking about the analyzing, is just taking up more time that is not analyzing. All right, so once again, this is a song that we have to go from my ears to hear what the lyrics are. So, we've got, you're a yellow-bellied snake hiding your fangs until somebody gets too close, I think is what they said. This song, the other songs today that we had to go based on my ears to figure out the lyrics, they were slower and had less instrumentals, whereas this song had a lot of instrumentals, and also they were singing pretty quickly. And so I really don't know what they were saying, but I like the noises that it makes. And that is the important part here, of course, is the noises that it makes. Yes. So we've got snakes. Snakes, what are snakes like? Snakes, I have been thinking about snakes a lot this week because I've had multiple conversations about snake skin and snakes and their skin and boots made out of snake skin. And, personally, I would not wear even fake snake skin boots because I do not like the pattern. I do not want the pattern on my foot. But I think that a compromise between, we will say, this song and snakeskin boots in general would be putting your foot into the mouth of a snake, and then a live snake, and then it can just chill there and be your boot. And now it is 9 o'clock, and you are going to listen to a different show. And by the way, this is WOBC FM 91.5, Oberlin College and Community Radio. And now it is time for the next show. So here we go.
Festival at Mystic Seaport. This is an 1865 song written by Henry Clay Work, the same man who wrote Grandfather's Clock. No reason for why the ship never returned is given, but ships were, and still are, lost at sea without a trace. In the 1800s, this was not an uncommon event.